Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Automotive World. I'm your host, Vinay Mystery, and tonight we have got a whole bunch of new releases from the Kia and Hyundai group. We're going to start off here with the Kia K4. We're going to see what is going on with the all-new K4. This is the successor to the Kia Forte, so rest in peace to the Kia Forte. We're going to do a little bit of a deep dive here, and then we are going to go in, and I'll give my opinion closer towards the end. We'll look at the interior and all that, so let's get right into this. Grab a seat, grab some snacks, because this is going to be a fun one. So we've got the all-new Kia K4. This is a new model. This is the successor to the Forte, but this is a new model. We have an overview of what we've got here. We're going to have over 11 different standard safety features. We're going to have up to a total of, I believe, 29 different safety features. We're going to have two different engine options, a 1.6 liter turbo and a 2 liter engine. We're going to have best-in-class legroom. We're going to have a quieter cabin. So let's get into all of this. So we're starting off. The Kia K4 is going to be essentially the new entry-level model, what they call the powerhouse standard, segment above technology. We're going to have two different lines, a GT line with a 2 liter engine and a 1.6 turbo, and we're going to have some new performance upgrades, including standard multi-link rear suspension. So we're going to start off here. We're going to have a total of 5 different trim levels being the LX, LXX, ES, GT line, and GT line turbo. We're going to have, for our interior, across all trims of Kia K4, standard wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. We're going to have a multi-segment display cockpit with nearly combined of 30 inches of digital instrumentation. This is very similar to what we see in the new Tucson and Santa Cruz that have been refreshed, and pretty much all these upgrades are actually going to be very similar to what we see in the Tucson and the Santa Cruz, given that this is the parent company. So we're going to have essentially two different screens, one being for the infotainment system and things like that, and then the other being for your actual, your dashboard, your speedometer, things like that. And in total, we're going to have 30 inches of digital instrumentation. So we've got a lot of real estate. We've got new cameras with 360 surround view. We're going to have new available amenities such as the Digital Key 2.0, ultra wideband, new Harman Kardon sound system, heated and ventilated front seats with memory, a sunroof, and a lot more. We're going to start off here. We do see the fastback design. A lot of people are wondering, did this car grow? And yes, this car grew up. This car got bigger. We have a new overall length of 185.4 inches, so almost 185.5 inches. We have a width, of 72.8 inches. That is going to be the widest and largest footprint in the compact segment. So this is going to be in the compact segment. This is going to be the largest and the widest. This is the biggest boy in town in the segment. This is the king right here. We have, for the rear passengers, they'll have a class leading 38 inches of legroom. Really good. Class leading headroom at 37.3 inches. Standard vertical oriented LED headlights and taillights, which take inspiration from the EV9 flagship vehicle that will show you new lighting signature, obviously. Front and rear fascias, and in this model we are going to have 14.6 cubic feet of cargo capacity. So this is going to have a decent amount of cargo capacity. Obviously this is a smaller vehicle, we have to understand that, but we've got 14.6 cubic feet of cargo capacity. In terms of, for the other models here, for the GT line and the GT Turbo, we will have exclusive unique front and rear fascias. We'll have LED projection headlights, fog lights. They'll have little small cubes in the LEDs, and obviously an exclusive 18-inch alloy wheel for it. Starting off here inside, it's an all-new interior, which we're going to show you later on at the end of the video. What they call an expansive cockpit, tons of integrated digital instrumentation, over-the-air update capability, really good, something we're seeing on the new Santa Cruz and Tucson. This is going to allow everything from ECU and performance updates to just overall infotainment system and software updates. Everything is going to have the over-the-air capability. We're going to have nearly 30 inches of digital display. So we have got a lot of screen on here. Nearly 30 inches. I mean, that's a lot of screen. We've got NFC capability. We have with the new available digital key 2.0, so you do not need to carry a key fob with you. With NFC in the ultra wideband, you can unlock the vehicle, start the car, do all of that good stuff. You can also share that digital key with other family members just by sending them a text message. So if somebody needs to borrow the car, they don't need to take the keys. They can just use their phone, whether it's an Apple phone or an Android phone, and they can just hop in your car, drive it just as if it was a normal car. So we've got new features like that. We've also got some new voice control from Kia, which we also see with Hyundai as well. This is going to allow you to do even more, so we can ask it not only just news topics such as stocks and scores of certain sports teams and things, interest in local points and navigation, but now they're saying we can do things such as climate control and audio control, so we can tell it to turn the AC on a certain speed and a certain temperature, and obviously the same thing with the audio. In terms of the interior available, we're going to have different type of interiors. We'll have some slate green ones, we'll have some onyx off-white ones, we'll have like some medium gray ones here. The medium gray will be on the LX, LXS, and EX. The slate green will also be on the EX, and then the GT line models will have the onyx and off-white. Heated front seats are standard on Kia K4 GT line and above. Ventilated seats as well as driver memory seat function are optional, and the 3-spoke steering wheel is going to be unique to the Kia K4 GT line. Now, when I was watching the video of all of these vehicles today, I was very excited. I love powertrain, so this is the part that I'm most excited about. I do have a little bit of an iffy opinion on this, but this was one of the parts I was most excited about. So we pretty much have the 2 engines we had last year. We had the 147 horsepower engine with 132 pound-feet of torque, made it to the intelligent variable transmission. Fancy talk, it's just Kia CVT. And then we have the 1.6 liter, which we also had last year, which you could get in a manual and a dual clutch. The new 1.6 liter makes 190 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque, made it to an automatic 8-speed. I like that it's made it to the 8-speed, because the dual clutch is kind of iffy on reliability. No mention on manual. However, the old model had 201 horsepower, so we've lost 11 horsepower, but the torque has stayed the same. So we've gone down a little bit in power, but like I said, torque stayed the same. Still a fairly capable engine for this class. In terms of safety, this is a huge thing for the K4 and for all the Hyundais and Kias. Let's get into safety. So, Kia has not only refined, but they've expanded safety. We're going to have now standard rear and side airbags for a total of 8 airbags in the Kia K4. Kia K4's latest, the ADAS suite. A whole host of features including standard intelligent speed limit assist, lane keep assist, smart cruise control with stop and go, which is going to allow the driver to also have essentially central forward collision avoidance, which will pair with the stop and go feature. That is going to be designed obviously to help protect them from a collision when it detects vehicles, pedestrians, and cyclists in front of the vehicle, as well as oncoming or turning left at an intersection. And there will be haptics in the steering wheel to add warnings of for the driver to alert them of these impending incidents. That's really good to see. That is on Kia's forward collision avoidance system version 1.5. on the optional K4 and GT line turbo models. Forward collision avoidance version 2. This is going to give us extra functionality. It's engineered to detect crossing vehicles while crossing through an intersection. Also designed to provide some sort of degree of braking and or steering input to potentially help prevent certain collisions and lessen the effects if the system detects oncoming vehicles while passing other vehicles, as well as in front while changing lanes. That's also going to give us Kia's evasive steering assist, which is going to be able to help mitigate collision with obstacles, including pedestrians and other vehicles detected, and also will warn the driver in certain circumstances if there's space to avoid the collision in the lane. Obviously, it can also help in assisting with the steering as well in certain instances to help prevent collision with a direct on vehicle through both auditory and visual warnings, so the drivers will be able to not only hear but see the warnings, as well as being able to potentially apply the brakes to completely stop the vehicle if necessary or slow it down to a degree. We also will have the available highway driving assist. That's going to give drivers a convenience system, obviously on the highway, to be able to set predetermined distances, to keep the vehicle within range of other vehicles, and keeping the vehicle within the lane markers on certain highways. It's not going to work on all highways, but it's going to work on certain highways. It's not necessarily a semi-autonomous system, but it is a safety system that Kia has implemented. So it's not it is not a semi-autonomous system. It is not a hands-free system. You do have to be alert and engaged, but it is something they've added to the K4. In the addition of that, we've also got the standard blind spot collision warning, rear cross traffic alert. They've had that for quite a while. We've got the blind spot collision avoidance assist and blind spot view monitor. Those are all going to be designed, obviously, to help the driver detect if vehicles are approaching from behind and in adjacent lanes, which, as they say, variety of circumstances, which can be designed to potentially help apply brakes to avoid potential collisions with others. There's also going to be an optional surround view monitor that's going to give us a 360-degree view in reversing. Great, obviously, for parking scenarios and things. We're also going to have a parking distance warning, which is going to be designed to add with the 360-degree capability on the forward, side, and sides of the vehicle, and obviously the rear reverse of the vehicle, the distance actually when you're parking. So these are really for when you're parking in parking garages and things. It's really going to give you that capability. That way, make sure you don't hit anything, but to have that 360-degree field of view is really going to be something really nice here. This vehicle obviously did take some inspiration from the Hyundai vehicles. Obviously not exactly it wasn't a one-to-one situation, but what we do have here, essentially, that was the end of the video. Well, I'm going to show you, though, some of the interior and all that, because I really want to go over that. We did go over a lot of it, actually, in the previous video, so I'm just going to show it to you guys. In terms of availability, Kia has said and stated the vehicle is slated to arrive in the United States second half of 2024. Clearly, obviously, that can always, that can be pushed back because of a variety of things. It's going to have the standard 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. We don't have any pricing announcements. We don't have any EPA fuel economy ratings. We do not have any other trim details or anything like that. That is all subject to future announcements and subject to closer on-sale date. They do say second half of 2024. Like I said, that can be pushed back. That is when it is slated to go on sale. We do not have, obviously, when, it'll hit dealer lots, but the vehicle is, like I said, slated for second half of 2024, currently, right now. In terms of, that's really everything that we have on here. We've got some pictures on here, which I'm going to show you guys. These are some really nice pictures, and I've got some interior pictures, which I'm going to show you as well, because these are all just, these are really nice pictures. Let's start off with the first one here. The vehicle itself, just from the front, the new grille, it looks really nice. The fastback design, we have the T-shaped light up here. We have the L-shaped, rear lights here, pretty much going the entire length of the actual trunk. We've got the new wheels. It looks really nice. We've got a really nice interior here. I actually have the two high-res pictures, which we can zoom in on later. This is the new instrumentation. This is where the 30 inches of combined space is. Obviously, we can see here where the cutoff is. We have, the driver dashboard and things like that. And then we obviously have the infotainment system. So it is essentially multiple screens stitched together to make one very large screen. Extremely large screen. We've got some pictures of the seats here. The seats look really, really nice. So do, just the interior. The back seats look really, really nice. The stitching looks really nicely done. Looks like we have some, what I'm assuming would be, we got probably maybe some soft touch plastic up here, maybe some hard touch stuff here. Looks like we have some glossy things here. Not really too big fan of that kind of matte stuff like that, but really nice. We've got some nice seat embossing here. We've got a picture here of where the fastback design and the slope and the shaping here. We also see here they do have the integrated door handles onto the window here, so you'll notice onto the actual door panel on the rear. There is no door handles. On the front there is, and on the rear there is not. That is because that door handle is integrated into the glass right here. It's a bit interesting, gives it a sleek design. I'm not sure whether it's necessary or not, but that's what they decided to do, and it looks pretty cool. We have another picture of the headlight here. We got some more pictures of the headlight here. We've got a picture of the really nice new wheels here with the Kumo tires on there. Kia's been given the Kumo tires for a long time, standing on the vehicles. That's who they've partnered with. And then we've got a picture of the engine here. This one is going to be the 1.6 liter turbo GDI. This is the new version. The one that used to make 201 horsepower, it's now going to make 190. It's going to make the same amount of torque as the old one as well, with 195. So I am a bit disappointed that they did go down in the horsepower figures. I wish they would have gone up. But it is what it is. I do want to show you guys the interior pictures though, because this is really, really good. So let's go full screen on here. Here we have some pictures of the interior. We have really nice materials. Like I said, a huge display across the dashboard. As I mentioned in the previous video before, in our sneak peek in the press release they gave before, we do know on the Tucson, the Santa Cruz, and the K4 obviously we're looking at, they added physical buttons back. So we can see here, physical buttons, volume rocker. We have dual climate air AC. So we've got physical buttons for fan speed, for mode, for temperature. We've got our home button, the map button, the search button, all of that stuff. We have physical buttons on the steering wheel. These are not haptic buttons. These are not little touchscreens. These are physical buttons with volume knobs on there. We have our seat controls here, window controls. Our drive mode selector is going to be up here. Parking brake is on the side there, which I'll show you. We've got our USB-C ports over here. We've got some more parking distance control stuff here, as well as our auto hold right there. On both of these, there was no mention of a manual trim, so as I did mention in the other video, I did think the manual trim was going, especially on the Forte, because it is offered in a manual, and it does look like, as of right now, for the GT line turbo of the Kia K4, there is going to be no more manual. But the interior on this vehicle just looks, I think it's minimal, and obviously like it doesn't look super high end, but it looks really, really nice. It's been done tastefully. If I get into our other image here, which I've got saved for us, we see here, I really like the steering wheel, really nice buttons. We've got cruise control, we've got the mode button here, voice control, phone call answering, we've got our drive mode button down here, we've got our, like I said, cruise control, distance control, things like that, parking brake, traction control, pop the trunk. We've got our brightness for the instrument cluster, so you can adjust that. We have here, not only do we have the seat function, here, but we also do have, both of these seats are eligible for not only heated and cooled seats. So we can actually see here, this has the heater symbol, so that's the heated seat one. That one has the fan on there, so that's the cooled seat one. We've got USB-C ports in here. Like I said, physical buttons on here. We have our drive, our shifter here. Like I said, no mention of a manual. This one clearly, obviously, is not a manual because we do not have a clutch pedal. So it seems to be that the manual for the Forte, or the new Kia K4, which is the successor to the Forte, has unfortunately been superseded in the old model. It sucks, but we had to expect it. Really nice steering wheel though, really nice design. I'm still not a fan of this whole putting the Kia logo. I like this part, the whole little compartment here, that little thing like that. I'm just not a fan of putting this Kia logo here to the side like that. It just looks weird. It looks off center. The font is just not big enough in terms of like framing and all that. It's just like it's like your 4/3 and things. It doesn't work. I don't quite like it because you just have all this empty space here. It's just not good framing. I don't quite like that. That's the only two things really I'm not really liking with this vehicle right now. Is I don't like that. I don't like how they went down on the horsepower. The rest of the interior though looks really quite nice, honestly, for what it is and what it's going to be priced at. This is definitely an improvement. The fact that they did not get rid of physical buttons makes me really, really happy. The screens up here, I mean, they look super nice and colorful, really great graphics. And I mean, they're, like I said, it's huge. I mean, it is combined about 30 inches of screen real estate here. So, I mean, think about it like that. Like, it's almost like a 32-inch TV in the car. It's really, really is something. So it's really nice to see that. I think Kia has done a good job with the K4. I just wish they would have, like I said, gone a little bit more power and just a few little things like that. But really, I think they've done a good job with the K4. Clearly, obviously, though, what we're seeing from the interior, especially with the seats, with the buttons, with the, the seat design, and really just with the screens itself. Obviously, the current Forte starts at 19.9 right now. Clearly, I'm pretty sure this vehicle is not going to start at 19.9, so we don't know what pricing is going to be, but it's obviously going to be a lot more. So it's going to be interesting to see with the K5 starting at about 25 and a half or 25 change, where this vehicle is going to be priced at. So it'll be interesting to see that. But I think Kia did a good job with the K4. That's going to be the end of this video, and we'll see you guys soon.